Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm one of the owners of Oficina 35, where we are at the moment in Lisbon, and we're gonna do a tour of Lisbon shortly. Let's go.
Tell me a little bit about your bicycle that you have.
Okay, so this is an all-city Cosmic Stallion, steel bike with carbon fork. I chose this bike because it's a gravel bike, so it allows me to do all the things that I want to. I use it for long distance breves, so randonneering. I use it for bike traveling. And yeah, I love it. It has some mount on the for a bike rack. So if I want to carry a little bit more stuff, it allows me to. The geometry is a little bit more aggressive, but it's still pretty comfortable. And it allows me to stay long hours on the bike. So I love it. I got the tires. I changed the wheel set, and also the tires less than a year ago, and made a huge difference. So I chose an option of tires that allow me both to go on tarmac and gravel, and I don't mind any kind of roads. So we are getting close to one of my favorite museums here in Lisbon. So this is the National Tile Museum, and I came here with no expectations, and I was really surprised. The building is beautiful. It's an old convent from 1509, and yeah, it's really worth a visit. So now you can tell where the museum is.
This is the museum.
Yes, it is. And over there as well. So that's the entrance, and some parts look like a church because it used to be a convent. Someone lost a fork. Well, this is the port. So we are on the way that goes to Parque das Nações. That area was really bad, like 30 years ago, more or less. And then they had an expo here, which made a huge difference. So they developed that part, they built new buildings, but it was like a bubble inside the city, like an outside neighborhood. And since the tourism became really big in Lisbon, they're developing this part as well. Usually port areas are not very nice in some cities, but then they started getting some old buildings, renovating them, and it's getting much better. It's getting more popular as well. There is one neighborhood on that direction that's called Beato, and we go up. Yeah. And then they also start doing some cultural activities. Some people call that like also the beer district, because there are a few breweries, small ones, which are pretty good actually. And also some art parts, like art galleries and special markets where they have this combination of small artisans and artists. It's interesting, and they're developing it little by little.
Yeah.
This is the Santa Polónia. It's a terminal station. So if you want to go to the north of Portugal or middle Portugal, the train is probably leaving from here. And on the other side, so this is Tagus River, or Tejo in Portuguese. And we can even see a habitat today. If you look, there is a nice hill on our left, and it's very nice to ride the bike there. Challenging, but really worth it. Beautiful views. But depending on the time of the year, might be too crowded with cars because they also wanna enjoy the nice views. They're doing some construction here to avoid floods. So we have they changed the bike lane to this part.
Ah.
And here they have some restaurants, but still also some empty warehouses. And we're approaching the area where the cruise ships stay when they arrive in Lisbon. Some people complain a lot about them because they say they don't really spend time in the city, but yeah, they do, like one day at least, and helps the tourism here a little bit. When I used to live in Alfama, so like one of the old districts of Lisbon, I could hear them when they would honk. Bom caminho. So there is also the pilgrimage path in Portugal, and those two were walking. They had shells on their backpacks.
They were collecting shells?
No, it's the symbol of Del Camino.
Oh, okay.
And so they will have them hanging.
I see.
Yeah. They also did some changes here recently, that they have now some bars, and this became a very nice spot to hang out. So people come just for walks or to have some drinks, to be by the water.
We saw a lot of people jogging yesterday
Also that,
in this area.
because it's nice. It's one of the flattest areas in the city.
Yeah.
So if you are by the river, you won't climb. So that makes a big difference, especially considering that's the city of the Seven Hills and lots of extra climbs. And all these changes I saw during the last 6 years. That's the time that I've been living in Portugal. Here we have one of the options to cross to the other side. So we call that the South Shore. And you can take a boat and cross through some of the cities. So this is also recent, that they don't let private cars come through here now. It's just like taxis and public transportation. And then the bike lane is also recent, which is pretty good for this area. This is downtown Lisbon. And yeah, it's always busy. We're close to a shop where I like to go sometimes to get coffee. So I can buy the beans and grind them at home.
This area is beautiful. This area feels old and new put together.
One funny thing when I come here is that I always see different shops. Everything is changing in the city and changing so fast. It's a pretty city. I like Lisbon. Okay, so we're gonna go to Ginjinha. We're gonna get a shot of this very typical liquor from Portugal. So they say it was created in a convent, like lots of the pastries here as well, and also some of the booze.
Vai.
Let's go. Duas ginginhas, por favor.
Com fruta ou sem fruta?
Com fruta, por favor. So you can see they keep it there. And then when this is getting empty, they just go open the tap and refill it.
That whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
It's delicious.
That one is called a Ginjinha. This one is called Ginjinha without arrival. This place belongs to a hotel, so and they rent the space. It's been here for about 100 years, and now they couldn't renew the contract. So they were supposed to close at the end of June, but now there is a dispute in the court between the hotel and them. So hopefully they can keep up.
What are they going to do with this space?
Good question. Yeah. I mean, and this is part of the history of the city. They should keep it.
They should keep it. I agree. They have to deal with it. This is part of history.
Exactly. And I think the city hall should also help with
It's
this.
an attraction to the hotel maybe as well.
Moço, por favor. Com fruta. Quanto que é? Yours. And cheers. So, right in front of us, we will have the Praça do Comercio, so that's like Commerce Square. And this is where we met the first time here in Lisbon. On this place, there used to be a palace from the king, but it was completely destroyed by the earthquake that hit Lisbon in 1755. It was really, really terrible because it was an earthquake, really strong one, I think something 8 point something in the scale, followed by a tsunami, followed by a fire. Pretty much destroyed a big part of the city. And now it's this open space. So this tram here, over there that we just passed, is really for tourism. We still have some that are official for transportation, but lots of tourists will go on them as well. So what they did is they raised the fare. So if you are local, you have a card that you use to travel by public transportation, you pay much cheaper. And if you're a tourist, you're gonna pay like 4 euros, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked it. And if you use the local card, it will be less than 2 euros. So it makes a difference. We're getting close to another train station that connects Lisbon and Cascais. You go by the river to the coast. This is also a bohemian area, so people will come and hang out here. Just behind us, can't really see from here, but there is the Pink Street. That's quite famous for the nightclubs. Some people come to celebrate their bachelor parties. It's pretty common, especially from people from the UK. I've seen many here already. And we're gonna pass by Time Out Market. So Portugal has lots of markets in different neighborhoods, and this one became quite popular because it was bought by Time Out, and they invited some chefs to open restaurants inside. So it's like a food court. You can come, pick a place, pick a restaurant, what you want to eat, and then find a table and enjoy your meal. It's nice, but it's not my favorite. I like one that's called Campo de Ourique. It's kind of the same concept, not with chefs, but it's smaller, it's cozier. Usually you have locals there instead of having lots of tourists, which I think is nice if you just want to hang out, have a beer with a friend, or grab something to eat. And by locals, I mean there are still lots of foreigners because it's in a neighborhood that is, some people call it like the French neighborhood because there are lots of French living there. But it's my favorite. And that's the one that I recommend, and usually people prefer that one as well. Oh, this is cool. So you see this sculpture here? So this is a fox, and it's done by a Portuguese artist called Bordalo. And he uses trash to make his sculptures. And the idea is to talk about how we throw away so many things. It's like it's a protest, environmental protests. And he does all different kinds of animals. There are a few here in the city. There's a cat in Parque das Nações. If you go to Porto, there is a rabbit. There is an otter in a city called Alcotim, and some others around the country. Oh, here is a very popular spot amongst the young people. No, not the Copenhagen Coffee Lab, a merendeira next to it. I mean, there are lots of nightclubs on our left side. So when they leave the clubs in the morning, they come here to have something to eat before going back home. Usually it's soup, very typical Portuguese soup called caldo verde. That's potatoes, some kind of green leaves, forgot the name of those in English, like a kind of cabbage, and some sausage, but they make a vegetarian version as well. I like to say that here's a combination of Rio and San Francisco, because you have the bridge that people think about, the Golden Gate Bridge. And okay, now you can't see it that well, but over there we also have a statue like the Christ in Rio.
That really does feel like two cities put together.
Sorry?
It does feel like two cities put together.
Yep.
When you look that way.
It does. When they built the bridge, it was in the 60s, so 66 actually. They gave it the name of the former dictator of Portugal. But once the dictatorship was overtaken, they renamed it as 25th of April. So 25 de Abril, that's exactly the date when the revolution happened. So when Portugal was free of the dictatorship.
Oh, that's why the date.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's meaningful, really meaningful. So our next stop is going to be the MAT, or M-A-A-T. So it's the Museum for Art, Architecture and Technology. It has a very interesting shape. Here we are. So over there we have Mosteiro dos Jerônimos, like an old monastery, and there they invented the most famous Portuguese pastry that's called pastel de nata. And it was like, the reason was they had to use the egg whites to starch in the clothing, and there were lots of egg yolks. So they created this recipe, and then they sold the recipe to that place called Pastel de Belém. And then when people think pastel de Belém, it's always there. Everywhere else in Portugal, it's pastel de nata. That's the most famous one, the original recipe, but we're gonna have my favorite one. That's from this small chain called Manteigaria. So, hope you enjoyed the tour, and if you do it, don't forget to finish it like a real Portuguese. Pastel de nata and some coffee. Enjoy it.
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and the highest quality.